What's up, YouTube? You're Inside the Edge, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to talk about Derek Carr. It looks like Derek Carr and the New York Jets has been, talking, doing some negotiation, and it's looking very possible that Derek Carr could be a New York Jet. I know the conversation is Aaron Rodgers going to be in the mix of becoming a New York Jet? And I guess to just break it down with that, I mean, I would say the Jets should go after Derek Carr rather than Aaron Rodgers. And it's not even a talent thing because Aaron Rodgers is obviously overly talented than Derek Carr. But I look at it in the standpoint of Derek Carr is a free agent. He's just looking to get paid. He's looking to just negotiate something good, and he wants to be a New York Jet. I think with Aaron Rodgers, with him, it's a little bit more strings attached. You got to figure out, does he want to leave Green Bay? You have to figure out his contract. It's in the high millions, man. I mean, but it's worth it because he's Aaron Rodgers. But I think the Jets should go with Derek Carr because it's less strings attached, guys. And I think Derek Carr, again, he's a major upgrade from what this Jets team has at quarterback. Looking at Mike White, Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, these guys aren't going to be on this team for long. Zach Wilson, I already see, the Jets kind of derailing him and, putting him to the side. I don't think he's ever going to start for the Jets again. And, but Derek Carr, he's the hottest on the market. It only makes sense. It would only make sense for Derek Carr to be a Jet. And for so many years, the Jets hasn't found their quarterback. They haven't made the postseason in 11 straight seasons. And for obvious reasons, I would say, is, why the Jets, didn't finish out the year strong is because of the quarterback position. But I respect the Jets too. They started off 5-2 and, they just didn't end their season right. And they did a little bit of a slippery slope. But I will say Rodgers, I might have said his name wrong. That coach, he's a hell of a coach on how he just flipped this New York Jets team around. This team was hungry last year. They were very hungry, and things just didn't turn their way. So I will say with the Jets, I think the quarterback position is their main focus, and I think Derek Carr is their guy. I would say Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback. He's a guy that can win you games. He has a nice strong arm. Mobile enough to escape the pocket and make plays. But I think a lot of scrutiny that Derek Carr does get is the interceptions. But just to read you guys his stats, he did play 15 games. He completed 60.8% of his passes. He threw for 3,522 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Like I mentioned, the 14 interceptions. That's something that a lot of people, they criticize Derek Carr on. It is the interceptions. But I think if he was to go to this Jets team, I think that would change, guys. I'm liking, Breece Hall at running back, Michael Carter at running back. As far as wide receivers, Elijah Moore, this guy, he's a guy that can, he could run any route. He's explosive. I mean, if Derek Carr could utilize him, looking at Corey Davis, Braxton, what's that kid's name? Birio, that was his name. Yep. They have some pieces, guys. The Jets have some really good pieces on offense. I don't think. What's the other guy? Denzel Mims. That's another receiver that I feel like with the Jets. I mean, a lot of these guys didn't really get a lot of targets, just because of the lack of. At the quarterback position, I just think nothing was really solid for this team, the Jets, like I said, man, they start off 5-2. They start off really hot, but I think if Derek Carr was to come to this division, I would put him at number 2. I would say he's the second best quarterback. Obviously Josh Allen. I'll put Derek Carr, Tua, and I'll throw in Mac Jones at 4. But if you want to argue if Tua is better than Derek Carr, I mean, that could be a toss-up, but I'm just looking at it from, for what it is, and I just think Derek Carr, he has the experience, he's a winner, and just the way that he left, well, not that he left, he actually just kind of got kicked out of, the Raiders, but, and just, for Jarrett Stidham to just play like their last games, I would say Derek Carr has a huge chip on his shoulder. He can use that fuel, man, and I think that chip on his shoulder is going to bring the best out of him. And if he is to go to New York, man, I don't see how he can fail. I think this team could be a playoff team. Defensively, they're solid. They're stellar on defense. I think this is a solid defensive team that can get to the quarterback, that can catch interceptions. I mean, I like C.J. Mosley. They have, I would call him a number one corner in Sauce Gardner. I really like this team. And then, like I mentioned, offensively, if they can get Bryce Hall back healthy after ACL before the season, Michael Carter, just this running game. And if Derek Carr, if he can negotiate and sign before, OT and before training camp and, start that, practicing with his teammates and get that camaraderie and learning the playbook and learn it early and build that chemistry, I think this Jets team could, win maybe 9 games and sneak their way into the playoffs. But, again, guys, I just kind of want to wrap it up. But if you ask me, I think the Jets should go with Derek Carr just because it's not a lot of strings attached. And for me, Derek Carr wants to be a Jet. He's taking he's taking this dinner. Obviously, he's interested. And, how many quarterbacks are saying, hey, I want to, play for the Jets. I want to play for that franchise, A lot of quarterbacks fear going to teams that, franchises that hasn't been a winning team, a winning franchise. It's a lot of pressure. But with Derek Carr, like I mentioned, him and the way the Raiders situation happened, I think he's going to add a lot of fuel. He's going to be, super motivated, and he's going to lead this franchise to some wins, I think, if he was to join the Jets. So, with that being said, guys, I want to hear your guys' opinion. Do you think the Jets should wait on Aaron Rodgers and his decision of whether he wants to step out of Green Bay, or should the Jets go after Derek Carr? Or should they go after another quarterback? But, guys, it looks legit, guys. This looks legit. I think Derek Carr, I'm going to call it now, but I think Derek Carr is going to be a New York Jet. And me being a Patriots fan, I'm nervous, man, because like I mentioned, man, this defense is solid. Just the quarterback position is something that they're missing. It's that's it. That's the missing piece to this team. And obviously with the offseason, and free agency not starting yet, when off season happens, they're gonna, the Jets are gonna add pieces on offense and defense to get better. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. How do you guys feel about, Derek Carr becoming a Jet, or if he becomes a Jet, or do you think they should go after Aaron Rodgers? But leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, if you've been watching it to this point, drop that like, subscribe, and see you guys in my next video. Peace.